Hello and welcome back to First Place TV. My name is Tumelo Makgakga, a qualified chartered accountant, a registered tax practitioner, and a registered auditor. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the tax season is upon us. I want to share with you some quick tips, things to look out for, and some things to just be careful about during this tax season. Stay tuned. Well, firstly, you will notice that a lot has changed. SARS has improved a lot of their systems, and you will notice that there's a lot of technological element in how the tax returns are being filed in these current times. So the first thing that I would say to you is just visit the SARS website and just read about the new way of filing tax returns. Understand what is an auto assessment, understand if or whether you qualify to receive an auto assessment. So that's the first thing that I would say. And secondly, I would say have your tax person. Work with someone who understands tax and just have a go-to person for tax issues, tax affairs. Don't try to do this on your own, especially if you are not very clued up on tax matters. Have a consultant, a tax professional that you can go to when you are not sure about something, and be sure to make use of them. Don't just blindly click things on your SARS profile, etc. Find someone who understands things and ask questions. And then if you so happen to use someone to help you with your tax affairs, please make sure that this person is registered. On the SARS website, you're also able to verify tax practitioners. So before you use someone for your tax affairs, remember your tax affairs are very sensitive issues. These are your personal matters, financial personal matters. So make sure that you use someone who's a registered tax practitioner. What you can do is, if you find someone who's offering their services as a tax practitioner, you can request their practitioner number. It starts with PR. You can request that practitioner number, and then you can go onto the SARS website, or even just go on Google and say verify a tax practitioner, and make sure that you go into it. It takes you into the SARS website, and then all you have to do is to just punch in that practitioner number, and then it will tell you whether or not that person is a registered tax practitioner. This way you are able to avoid situations where people are reckless with your tax returns, and they do incorrect things and they end up costing you more or put you in debt with SARS. So I would say use a registered tax practitioner, get their practitioner number, verify that practitioner number on the SARS website. And then another thing I would bring up, or I would tip you on, is just be careful on how some of the professionals are charging. Because, for example, if a person says, I charge based on the refund that you'll get from SARS, you need to watch out for that, because if a person is charging you based on the refund that you'll get from SARS, and say, for example, they say, I will charge you 20% of your refund from SARS, just bear in mind that this person is incentivized on your refund. So the higher your refund is, then the more their commission is or their fee is. Be careful of such a person, because this person is now motivated to give you a higher refund. So chances are, or there's a risk that this person can do something fraudulently on the SARS system under your name, just so that you can get a higher refund and they can get a bigger a portion on their fees. So just watch out for those kinds of things. Where a person says they will charge you a percentage of the refund, it becomes a bit of an issue, at least in my opinion. Doing a tax return requires a certain amount of hours or time, so it's something that you can quote on. Does not necessarily have to be linked to the refund, because what happens when you don't get a refund? Are you now saying that you will not be paid? Which is not supposed to be the case. So I would say watch out for those instances. I'm not saying it's wrong. Everyone who does it is doing something wrong. But I'm saying just watch out and be careful that someone doesn't end up putting you in more trouble with SARS by fraudulently submitting income tax returns, just so that they can be incentivized in the end. And another thing that you need to watch out for is that SARS is now using technology and third-party data to monitor activity of taxpayers. In this way, they are able to identify and check the accuracy and completeness of income tax return, or the information that you submit with your income tax return. So now there's a situation where you might think you are getting away with murder, but you will be surprised whilst you are selected for an audit and SARS starts requesting additional documentation. So just be careful of that and watch out in case you start getting other ideas. SARS is now becoming smarter. They're using data, third-party data like banks and all those kinds of things, where they monitor the income that individuals are getting and what compared to what they're declaring on SARS, on the SARS system. So this is something that can land you in deep trouble. So please watch out for this as well. And then another thing to watch out for or to be careful about is that, remember, there are penalties for missing the deadline, for filing outside of the deadline. Remember, there are penalties for when you don't submit, or when you underestimate your income. There are penalties and interest that SARS charges, and also where you try to claim expenses that are not allowed. There are penalties and there are interest that you will be charged. So just make sure that if you don't know, please consult a registered tax practitioner and make sure that you get assistance from a reliable and reputable person who is qualified and experienced in tax affairs. And that way you are able to have someone who can be accountable to your issues. Don't do something that you don't understand on your profile, because at the end you will end up in trouble and it will even cost you more. So yeah, those are some of the tips that I can share with you as this tax season opens. All the best, and please make sure that you reach out to us using the details on the screen. We're able to assist you with all your tax affairs, accounting, auditing, etc. And we are well qualified, well suited, experienced, and all of those things. So thank you so much for tuning in, and please do not hesitate to reach out should you need anything this tax season. And from me to you, happy filing.